Alright, so we have officially left Cartagena, but not before Curt did some amazing maneuvering through some insane, probably the most chaotic traffic we've driven in. And all I can say is that I hope all of the Colombian cities aren't as crazy as that one was, with the motos and the taxis and the buses and the markets. It was neat to see, but I'm sure glad Curt was driving. And for you guys that are new to our channel, you may or may not have figured out that I have a very bad knee. And I guess it was 6 or 7 months ago, we got the verdict that I need full knee replacement. And we've been going on a journey of getting a bit healthier. And the goal was to get the knee done here in Colombia. Over the next couple of days, we are headed south on a long drive. We think through the mountains here in Colombia, and we are headed to Medellin, which is supposed to be a pretty cool city. But we don't get to stay long because we have one doctor's appointment in Medellin. But in the meantime, I think we're going to be driving through some pretty interesting places. Right now, we're on a major trucking route that hooks the ports of Cartagena to the big cities farther south in Colombia. And what I will tell you is if you Google map this drive from Cartagena to Medellin, it says it's over 15 hours. So one thing right away that we know about Colombia is it is bigger than any of the countries that were in Central America, and that means there is a lot more cool stuff to see. Like these anteater signs that are everywhere. Now, we have been on the lookout for anteaters since Costa Rica. We have yet to find one, but we've passed 2 or 3 of these anteater crossing signs. So that means they are here for sure. And we're gonna be keeping our eye out. You guys know that we like wildlife, but it's also time to kind of start thinking about where we're gonna have lunch, guys. So during all of our shipping delays that we went through in Panama City and here in Colombia, we have been out of the van for over a month. Now we've moved back into the van. We've been driving in the van for maybe an hour and a half. And the kitties, they're having to get their van feet back. Van is chilling back there, just kind of relaxed, watching things. She keeps meowing at us. All right, we found somewhere to eat. It is just a little restaurante on the side of the road, but sounds good. Carne asada is what we think we ordered. We think that these coconut shells are our spoons.
It's a sopa. It's got some carrot. It's got some chunks of what looks like
good.
oxtail, actually. And this is yuca. And yeah.
All right, try out that spoon, Curt. Let's see it. Does it work good?
How is it?
It's really good. It's actually a pretty good soup spoon.
So we got the carne asada, so it's a little strip of thin meat. It's actually flavored pretty nicely. Some white rice, an ensalada, there's a little dressing, some spaghetti, and then there's a yuca. And then, of course, we had the soup before, and then this little drink is a manzana, although it doesn't really taste, it tastes more like a cream soda.
Yeah.
That was a yummy lunch. It was typical lunch, nothing fancy, no frills, very authentic restaurant, which was appropriate for our first meal in the van in Colombia.
It really was.
And also, Snow's first time driving in Colombia.
It is my first time driving.
So, I don't want to make any huge assumptions because we've only been in Colombia driving for a little bit. But I did want to tell you what we've seen so far. It's a bit different than some of the other countries. So in Panama and Costa Rica, we kind of lost the little roadside stands. They seem to be back. There's donkeys going up and down the road.
Not horses, like full-on Shrek donkeys.
Yeah, the roads are actually pretty nice. They're nicely paved, and in most areas they have a shoulder, meaning you have a little area to pull off the road.
So if we see an anteater, we can pull over.
Yeah. Although we've come to find in Colombia, the drivers don't really pull off the road. If they want something, they just stop, and all of a sudden you kind of have to figure out how to get around them or whatever.
All right, we're taking a little driving break. G's gonna get to go on a little walk. It's just the good life, guys. This is what van life is. We get to go on more walks. I think G is just craving him some grass too. He's a grass eater. And in the city, that's been hard, so I think he's pretty excited. What do you think, Kurt?
Oh, he can't wait.
He wants that door open. Look at him.
Let me go.
Hey, buddy. It isn't a glamorous stop, but I don't think G cares. This is his first real walk in a while because of all the apartment living we've been doing. But guys, it's 105 out here in the sun, so it'll be a short walk, but we'll get him another one this evening.
Another thing about Colombia that I think I've failed to tell you, at least the place we're at right now, it is hot.
Hot.
Now this is the heat I expected in Central America. We only really got it a little bit in Honduras and Nicaragua, but it is hot. I think we're still at a fairly low elevation, although we've kind of stepped up in a little bit of mountains.
Maybe we're going up.
We need to get up out of this heat, guys. So what's also back is a lot of simple structures, basic housing, a lot of metal roofs and just sort of wood framed houses. Outhouses, dirt floors, all that type of stuff that we've kind of seen in some of the more underdeveloped areas of Central America.
One thing we are figuring out, Kurt may have already told you because he did some running around Cartagena trying to do some errands and stuff. It is not going to be as easy to get by down here with our very limited Spanish. So Kurt's going to have to knuckle down and learn more because he definitely learns it quicker than me. All right, grocery shopping is done. Sun is getting ready to set. We are taking the next right to hopefully our campsite. Now another thing we're discovering about Colombia is there's not as many overlander spots, and of course that's just because not as many people come down here. So we're headed to this one. We have a backup that's about 10 miles away if this one doesn't work. But everybody's tired for our first day back in the van, so let's hope it works. All right, so Overlander let us down. There is nowhere to, watch out, Mike. There is nowhere down this road for us. Not even really anywhere to turn around, but Kurt pulled it off. Now we're gonna head back out and put in option number 2 and hope it's a lot better than this option. So Kurt has walked up there. This is a hotel that has a pool. I think a lot of people will come here just for the daytime and pay to use the pool. There are a couple of grassy spots, and we're hoping they will let us pay to park in one of these grassy spots overnight because it looks like a really good place to get G and Vanna out for a walk. And let's see what he comes back with.
All right, so they said 40,000 pesos, 20,000 pesos a piece. So 40,000 pesos is about $20.
That's a lot.
So I negotiated it down.
Good job.
I got it for free.
Do we eat here or something?
No, but I told him I'd come up there and have a beer and chat with them.
We'll do
so
that.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys, we are parked. Kitties are out. G is ready to explore. Vanna's exploring. It's a nice camp. And I think we might call it a night here. All right, we are on the road. The first order of business is fuel. Now, from what we understand, some of the gas stations down here will have water hoses that have water that is potable. So we will be looking for one of those gas stations, and that is our errand of the day.
Agua potable. We all have different things we do in the van. Stowe's the communication director, and she's the navigator, or the logistics planner, and now she also is the copier. So we found a copy shop, so that'll put her mind at rest. We can finally get copies of all the electronic documents that we have in case we get pulled over and asked, and that'll make her feel a lot better. And when Snow feels better, we all feel better.
all the countries through Central America had the speed bumps just built in all over the place on the roads, usually around schools or in little towns or dangerous areas. Lots of speed bumps. They all have different names. We're going over one right now, so you'll see the bump. There it is. And they still have them down here in South America, or at least in Colombia. And here they are called resaltos, where they are called túmulos. So,
And topes.
topes through Central America.
And Costa Rica muertos.
Yes, they all have different names. And here, resaltos. And what you guys need to know is they are gigantic speed bumps in the middle of major highways, and they serve their purpose because they keep you going slow.
Is that tilapia?
Sí,
¿Qué es?
cachama.
Pachama?
Boca chico,
That's the
Boca
one she
chica.
liked.
Sí, es mejor. Okay, boca chica.
frito.
Frito.
Boca.
Mira, mira.
Carne,
En bistec.
arroz con coco,
Ah,
limonada.
bueno.
Sí, limonada.
Gracias. So something I want to tell you guys. One thing, while we were locked up in the apartments for so long because our van was delayed, I didn't necessarily eat horribly, but I did not stick strictly to the diet I needed to be on for my knee. So once we got back in the van, crash course, hardcore, healthy food only for me. Back at it, guys.
And I was just delivered some sopa, some soup. So let's see what that stuff's like. So, the conclusion is this is like a fish head soup, I believe. So it's got like a fish broth, it's got a yuca in it, and it has a plantano in it. And it's a very flavorful, tasty broth. If you like fish. Snow does not like fish. She would hate this soup.
Sorry about the background noise here, guys, but this is literally a roadside open restaurant.
All right, Snow's trying to race these trucks through the toll booth.
We gotta get out before the person behind this one.
And speaking of toll booths, this is a toll road. We have gotten a lot of tolls. You can see this toll is about 20,000 pesos, which is right around $5. So far, we've probably spent on this road about $30 in tolls, driving about, 7 or 8 hours total driving time. So the toll roads, of all things, are some of the most expensive things we've come across in Colombia. The gas, the food, really saving a lot of money on that. I should say the fuel.
And I did not beat the truck out of the toll.
She did not.
We got beat.
There has been a lot of construction on this road. Some of it looks like it's because there's been a lot of erosion and washouts, and some of it just looks like general maintenance. But we have encountered a lot of construction today. We're starting to get up into the mountains, and if you watch along the side of this road, you'll see sort of all these hoses spraying water everywhere. Now what they'll do is the semi trucks will pull off here, and they're basically truck washes, but the water comes down from the mountains, they pipe it down, and because it's so high in the mountain here, there's a lot of pressure, and so they leave them on to release the pressure. You also notice probably there's a couple little cascadas in here. We pass them pretty fast. I don't know if you see them. But the last thing I'll tell you about this little area is there's the water in the rivers and streams is really red clay. And we just came past a quarry back there, and I think that might be where they mine the clay for all these red bricks that we're seeing. But needless to say, the terrain has changed dramatically. We are more in like a rainforest environment with the big banana leaves, the palm trees, the lush green stuff, and all the water. So this is exciting. I've got to tell you guys, you know, we love the nature, we love the wildlife, but one thing that I absolutely love, and I think Snow too, is when we have a long drive like this, driving across the countryside, and not only seeing the rural bits, but seeing the small towns.
They're so cool.
So cool. There's so much, I mean, cool different stuff, unique stuff. Yeah, so many different kinds of food, the way they sell stuff. Each town kind of has their own little thing that they do. The people, it's just really unique and diverse and cool experience. All right, one more construction zone. We're about 45 minutes from our camp spot tonight.
But we have encountered a traffic jam.
But we're stuck. All right, guys, we're 40 minutes into this delay. Everybody's tired, grumpy, including G. He's had such an awesome day. We're ready to get to our camp spot. I think we've moved less than a half a mile in the last 40 minutes.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, we're on this steep, windy mountain road right now, headed up to our camp spot. We can't even see what's going on. And so, yeah, we're just waiting it out, tired and ready to get to our camp spot. But the day's definitely taking a turn.
Yeah, the day is not over.
Traffic is definitely parked all the way back up to the highway. But this is part of the problem. The road is so narrow that some of these curves, the semis can't make it around the corner because they're packed in tight. I mean, they're almost touching. We're again moving, still 31 minutes away. The delay has so far been an hour. Traffic seems to be moving a bit more. But you can see all these big semis coming through here and trying to snake around these corners. So all along this mountain road right here, it's lined with like these authentic small houses made of red bricks and that we saw in the valley below. They have absolutely stunning views as they hang off the mountain. And look at that, guys. That's their view right there. Wow.
It was a long day, guys. We made it to our camp, and we're gonna just settle in for the evening, and we will see you guys in the morning. All right, it's bright and early. We got another day of driving for our 3-day drive across Colombia. But last night when we pulled into our camp, we saw this little place, especially got a good look at it from Curt's drone footage. And we decided we had to go see the other side of it. So we're driving through this neighborhood before we get on the road. And I gotta say, the locals are wondering what in the heck we're doing. Good thing my driving shift was yesterday afternoon. Curt pulled the short straw. This is a very curvy mountain road.
Day 3 at the gas station. getting a little fuel. So while we're sitting here filling up with diesel, I'm not sure if Snow told you, but this morning I was kind of out where we were parked and shooting some video of some birds, just a few birds. And the police on a motorcycle pulled up. There was two of them. And one of them kind of shook me down, trying to, they went through all our paperwork and all that stuff. He was smiling, but at the end, he Google messaged me that Google translated that propina or tips are voluntary.
That was a pretty tough mountain drive this morning through the curvy roads with all the trucks that were loaded down and struggling up and down those mountains. But I feel like we're kind of coming out of the tough part. We just came up on our first pretty good-sized city with tall, maybe 10, 12-story buildings here and there. And probably 3 hours till we get to the Medellin area. Wanted to give you all a little bit more of an update on why we're headed to Medellin. I have the knee doctor appointment. So we're going to do that in a couple of days. I'm going to go check out the hospital here, the area around the hospital. I have the doctor's appointment scheduled. Just kind of get a feel for what it's like here in Medellin. And then we head farther south to Cali, where we're going to do the exact same thing. Now the difference between Medellin and Cali is the Medellin doctor was kind of scheduled through a medical tourism website. That's where I found him and reached out. It's all been done through kind of a scheduling administrative lady. I have not talked to the doctor yet. The doctor in Cali is the one that was recommended to us from the doctor we liked so much up in Nicaragua 7 months ago when we first found out I needed to replace this knee. I have had several email communications with him, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to like him. But we're going to interview both, check out both cities, because we will be in those cities for 2 to 3 months. We're going to have to rent an apartment so that I can do my rehab. So we're going to check out the cities, the neighborhoods, the hospitals, but the most important part will be the doctor. So that's what's going on, guys. That's the plan. Gotta be pretty honest with you all. It's been a long 3 days. G just woke up from a nap and he's telling us it's been a long 3 days. The delay in the shipping made it where we just really didn't have much of a choice but to make this drive like this. It's been beautiful. We've seen lots of really cool and interesting stuff. I hope we were able to share it with you. But in all honesty, we're all tired. All right, there it is. We have made it to the outskirts of Medellin. It has been a long 3 days. Of course, it had to be raining as we came in off these mountain curvy roads. Curt did a fantastic job. Now we got to figure out how to maneuver this big old land yacht that we call a house through this city. And with that, we're going to wind this video down right here. And we will see you guys in a few days. Cheers. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.